There's one stronghold, or better said, one delusion that is so popular that you need to give up when you walk by faith. And it's only for believers, because unbelievers cannot understand this, because they're not walking by faith. When you walk by faith, you're guaranteed that justice will play out on your behalf in the long run. But you're not guaranteed that those around you will comply with justice. Justice implies everyone cooperates and contributes to the long-term well-being of the community. That means also taking account of the past and rectifying the past for being better and safer human beings today. That means if public neglect or public violence happens, not only do we have to apologize with our actions, I said apologize with actions because just saying we're sorry and there's no actual change for the better is useless. It's better not to say you're sorry, but actually to just be sorry and express this by becoming better and safer human beings. Listen, not everyone will comply with justice. As a matter of fact, do not even expect people to comply with justice. I'm not saying this to be cynical because I'm not cynical. I'm realistic and optimistic. And because I'm realistic, besides optimistic, I'm telling you, not everyone will comply with justice. This fairy tale that the world taught you of the good guys beating up the bad guys, everyone has peace afterwards, it never happens. In reality, there is no such thing as the good guys versus the bad guys. In reality, you have the public that wants to escape, doesn't want to face things, and then you have the victims that fight back, the victims of the public. Some of the victims of the public turn evil. They choose the dark side. And now they're seen as the villains. And now they want other people from the public to take the charge on them to relieve the public from the monsters they've created. This is what it comes down to. I'm not sympathizing with those that chose the dark side because there are victims who don't turn dark, who decide, you know what, I want to do what's best, and they end up serving Christ. Just understand, society will never admit its wrongdoing. They will always look for some villain or some monster to blame, but they will never explain how this monster came into being. And that's how society has been ever since the fall of man. And here's the thing, communities should comply with justice for their own members. But the thing is, worldlings and worldly communities tend to collaborate in a thing called society to generate a collective escape. And let me tell you one thing. If people, when you were a child or you were growing up, when you couldn't mean much for them, if they back then had no sympathy, empathy, compassion, none of those good qualities on you, they just ignored when you were in danger and they just enabled bad things to happen to you, and they even blamed you as an adult for having all those issues. If this happened to you, don't think that now that you have power given to you by God that people suddenly are going to become better human beings. They'll behave better towards you because they have no choice but to behave better. And because they don't want to be haunted by what they've done to you or how they neglected you, that's why they'll be extra kind towards you. They'll fake being better and safer people just so they can bail themselves out from facing repercussions for their neglectful attitude. But don't fall for it. There are going to be people that will change for the better, absolutely. But it shouldn't change for the better after realizing that you survived and now you have power over them. They should have changed a long time ago to realize, you know what, this is not how human beings should be. This is not realistic to just want to escape at everyone's expense like this. The fact they're not willing to change for the better, for the right reasons, means they don't even want to change for the better. They just want to self-destruct and be left alone while they self-destruct. As long as the self-destruction of others won't harm them, they're okay with it. But if others are harmed by their self-destruction, oh, there's always a reason for it. Listen, you cannot change people for the better. Okay? You cannot change people for the better. That's not an ability you have. What you can do is just restrain people in their negative and self-destructive behavior. You can bring embarrassment and shame to the public for their neglect, and superficially, they will comply with behaving a little better. That's what you can achieve. But you cannot make people better human beings. You can't do that. So if you are still upset with certain people that neglected you, or if you're still upset with society around you for remaining neglectful and negative, listen, you're right for being upset. But you know what? At some point, you need to process this and move on from being upset. I'm not saying that it's not upsetting. I'm not saying that it's okay how these people are. It's not okay, and you shouldn't justify it nor endorse it. But that's what they are. They don't want justice, they just want to escape. They're cowards. Stop causing pearls before swine. Some folks will never change for the better. The quicker you realize this, the better off you are. So give up this delusion of the bad guys winning. Because the bad guys are not winning. Neither are the good guys winning. Those that win are those that obey Christ. We often think, oh, the bad guys are winning, and that's why we have this depressive attitude. Sorry, but bad guys ain't winning. There's not for them to win. There's no win in self-destruction. Absolutely not. On the other hand, the quote-unquote good guys are not even good at all. They're just enablers because they don't deal with the root issue of things. Those that do win are those who actually obey Christ. Those who obey Christ are the true good guys. But do they get recognition in this world? No, they don't. Because they force the population to face themselves, and the population doesn't want this. So again, you have to live with the fact that a lot of people will make excuses or even blame you and turn you into the villain just because they don't want to feel bad about neglecting you or about them not being safe and better human beings. So let it go so you won't be harmed by this resentment. Because as long as you're in this resentment, demons have hold on you. It's not worth it. Again, I don't approve what they've done, and I don't approve people not repenting for the better. What I'm telling you is you need to be better. And that's why I'm here to motivate you. That's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ and be at peace.